This lecture is about artificial insemination in cattle. The learning goals for this lecture are that by the end of it you should be able to list the advantages and disadvantages of AI in cattle, describe the correct procedure for the rectovaginal insemination technique in cattle, and the correct site for deposition of semen in cattle. You should be able to describe the correct procedure for thawing frozen doses of semen, list the minimum quality and dose required for frozen thawed semen to achieve optimum pregnancy rates in cattle. Describe the recommended time for AI in relation to the onset of estrus in cattle. Describe the procedure for the cryopreservation of bovine semen. List and describe factors that can affect pregnancy rates to AI. We'll divide this presentation into a number of areas. First of all, we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of AI. Then we'll define some terms that are used when assessing the effectiveness of AI. Talk about some of the equipment and the actual insemination technique. We'll talk a little bit about semen collection and preservation and factors that affect pregnancy rates to AI. First thing we'll talk about is some of the advantages of AI. The chief advantage of AI is that it can result in improved genetic progress within herds, and that leads to better production. Sires can be selected which confer improved productivity in particular traits that farmers might be interested in. In dairy herds, this is often milk yield or composition. In beef herds, it may be something such as weaning weights or birth weights, or a number of other parameters that farmers are interested in improving within their herds. They'll often use estimated breeding values to select the sires that they want in order to improve the traits that they're trying to improve. Artificial insemination also helps with preventing the spread of venereal diseases, provided that the semen is free of venereal diseases. It gives farmers a wider choice of sires than what would normally be available on farm, and so they can choose sires from all over the world or sires from interstate or at considerable distances from their properties. There's some safety advantages in that it can reduce or even eliminate the need for bulls on farms. It can also improve record keeping, and this has an overall benefit to farm management. There are some disadvantages as well. Some of them include cost. Some of the bulls can be quite expensive, and the cost and the production advantage of using that bull may not be any better than just using a herd bull in some circumstances. This is particularly the case in beef herds, particularly if you're just selling meat commercially and you're not a seed stock producer. If you're synchronizing estrus in your cattle, then that would be an additional cost that you would have to incur. If you've got extra musterings or yardings or building more facilities, etc., then this all can also add to the cost of the procedure. It does require good management and good facilities to manage a large-scale artificial insemination program. Cattle need to be in good condition in order to get the most benefit and achieve the optimum fertility. Requires some skill not only in management but also in the insemination technique in order to achieve satisfactory pregnancy rates. One disadvantage is that if the semen that you're using contains genetic traits that are undesirable, then you can spread those through a large number of cattle fairly quickly, and this can lead to the appearance of genetic problems in offspring. If, for example, the bulls that you're using have higher birth weights than you anticipate, then you can end up with a lot of or higher percentage of dystocia cases than you were expecting. In some circumstances, it can actually reduce reproductive performance if you're inseminating a lot of cows and the semen's of subnormal fertility, or the insemination technician is the technique's not optimum, or that the semen's not handled in an ideal manner. Then you can actually reduce pregnancy rates than what would be have been achieved from natural service, and this can actually delay pregnancy in cows, and that will cost farmers money. So by now you should be able to list some of the advantages and the disadvantages associated with the use of AI. So I ask you would take some time to just jot down some of the advantages and disadvantages.